questions? I was out of pocket last week, and I think it was an exciting week. Mr. Baxley? Bring this up to date.
Thanks, Mayor, Council. I know most of you read the article in the paper last Thursday. I talked to a couple of the council, talked to several customers, and we had a lot of calls on it. First thing is just, I'll take the blame where I didn't explain myself enough, I think, in the article. This is pertaining to the cutoff list. But I'll go ahead and explain that. Basically, the cutoff list is the same policy we've had for over 30 years. None of that changed. I mean, it's identical. The one thing that changed is we went from $9 to $15 in the last resolution. But a person is not disconnected for a 1 month bill. They're 2 months late. We only do shut off when you've got 2 months bill. That policy still stays the same. If you're 1 month late, you're just late. But when you come back up and you get another bill and you're 2 months late, the day after that is when you're placed on the cutoff list. That's the policy it's always been. And then you're assessed a late penalty because you're past the due date. And what's happened in the past is the day after the due date, we print out what they call a cutoff list. That's for people that's 2 months behind on a water bill. We leave out that morning, no notification, we leave out that morning. We go out and turn everybody off that's on that cutoff list. And that cutoff list can run from 25 people. We had almost 70 people last week. And we have 4 areas in town, so we do this 4 times a month. So last week we had almost 70 people on this list before they finally paid their fee. And basically, and then we shut everybody off, and they had to come in and pay. Some people complain, well, I forgot. I just slipped my mind. Well, that's how the water ordinance states. That's how we do it. What I want to do, and what we're going to start doing tomorrow, is when that cutoff list is printed out, instead of going out in the morning and cutting our customers off, we're going to take that list and we're going to call these people. If we have a number on file, or if we have them in the phone book, we're going to call and say, hey, you may have forgotten, but your water bill's late. You're past your due date. We'll give you till 9 o'clock next morning to come in and pay your water bill up, and you won't be disconnected, and you won't be charged $25 disconnect fee. Basically, we're trying to offer another service, a courtesy service, to keep people having their water shut off and save them $25. Plus, in turn, it saves us from having to go out to each one of these customers and turn them off. And so when we call them, you'll have all that day. You'll have the chance at night to come by and drop it in our drop box. And we're not going to do it. We're not going to start the cutoff list until 9 o'clock the next morning. So on your way to work, you come by and swing by and pay your bill. And tomorrow is the cutoff date, but we're going to start calling in the morning. This is the cutoff list right here that was printed out today. There's 45 people on this cutoff list, and that's residential, business, and a housing unit. And right now, for this one area, this is area 1-1, which is the area this way, or area this way, I'm sorry. This 45 people, they owe us over $10,000 right here. This is $10,000 late on their water bill right here. People owe us $10,000 right now. So if we followed past policy, we'd go out and turn off these businesses, these housing units, and everybody else. So hopefully in the morning when we do this convenience, these people will come in and won't be shutting off but a few. And usually half the people that makes this list are on that every time. They're repeat customers. We know them well. We'll cut them off. They'll go 2 more months and we shut them off. So it's costing them, it's costing them $40 every time they do it extra. If they just pay the bill, they're saving $40. So that was the enforcement deal on the cutoff list. Basically, I was just trying to help customers out with a little convenience. And we'll try that and see if that helps. But I'm pretty sure it helps because if you give people a call, they'll be up here because they want the water cut off. So, but that's the cutoff policy. And that's how that's been. So like I said, if you're late, if you're on that cutoff list, you're not 1 day late, you're a month and a day late. You've got 2 months' bill sitting in front of you, so, if you're on it, you know you got a past bill. So it's not like we're shutting you off a day after your bill's due. So, if you mail a check in, you mail a check in on your previous month, you're not on the cutoff list. And on the new bills we printed up, we changed the bills up and on the back, we put on there, cautioning people, if you're mailing a check in, mail it 7 to 10 days before it's due. Sometimes it takes that long to get a check here in Magnolia to the city hall. But just basically, that was just trying to be a convenience. And I know a lot of people, read it, that was gonna come off the next day, and I apologize for that misconception, but, the policy didn't change. That's how we're gonna keep doing it, but we're gonna try to give them a little convenience and not have to shut them off. And hopefully they'll feel better about it, so.
Robert, when they receive the second bill, how many days after the time you guys mail them out?
It is, Rachel, 15 days after the due date, after mail date, they get the past due? Yeah.
Yeah. And now with the new system, when you call them, how many days will they have to come up?
Next day.
Next day.
Because they're already 2 months out, they got a 2-month deal. So if we did it, we couldn't do everybody that same month. The day after it's due date on the first month, it'd be half the people. And just to let you know, you'd be surprised how many people keep a 1-month bill outstanding. It's staggering how many people out there, they only pay you enough to keep you off the cutoff list. And that's where we get into, those people, if they're 1 month behind, they leave town, we're stuck with that water bill. And, that's where we lose them. Last year, the total for bad debts was $34,000. This year, we're already over $6,000 in people leaving us with the bill. So, there's no way to get around it, but, that's how people do. They stay 1 month behind, so when they leave town, we're stuck with that bill, and it could be, staggering what some people have for a water bill.
There was a good explanation on the back of the bad news today.
I haven't read it today, but,
Okay, well, it's covered.
okay. But, yeah, I got that, and, I got a few calls from councilmen, so I jumped on that. So, couldn't make it Friday, but I got in there today, so. Any more questions on that issue?
You said that once a person is called, the late fee was already assessed, right?
The late fee's on it because you're late on that payment. That late fee is assessed because you passed your due date. The due date of your second month bill, not your first month bill. So, but if I just called you that morning, you got a day that you come by to pay, you're avoiding having your water shut off, and you're avoiding having to pay $25, plus having to pay your total bill all the way up, all in one lump sum, so. But hopefully that's, people appreciate that service, and if it don't work out, we'll just change, but I can't see it not working. So. And, the next deal on that thing was the, cross connection program. Had several calls on that. And, that is not a new policy. I'll just give you a little background. The Arkansas Department of Health, modified their rules and regulations concerning public water supply in 1995 and added the cross connection program. And basically that is, I gave a list in the paper, but it pertains to hospitals, funeral home, morgues, industry that have automotive repair, lawn irrigation, chicken houses. It covers everything. And, as a water system, we're required to follow the rules and regulations of the Arkansas Department of Health. They passed that in 95. In 95, I actually started the program up and went through, we got everybody that's in the city that was on the list. Sent them letters. We got it all done. Out of I think I had over 400 people then. Got down to less than 10 people that wasn't compliant. And it was presented into to our commission. It was under Water Commission at that time for enforcement, and that's where it died. Nobody wanted to get those last 10 people in there because it states that if you don't test them, or if you don't install one, we're required to turn your water service off to protect the water supply. So after that, it kind of died down. 2006, the health department came in and said that, we are required to pass a city ordinance so we can enforce this issue. And we have to start enforcing that program. So the city council in May of 2006 passed ordinance, let's see, what ordinance here? Passed ordinance number 0602 pertaining to the cross connection program, and it laid out who all falls under it, the reasoning, states in there that you have to have an annual test on your backflow device. If it fails, it gives you details of how you have to follow to get it back up to code, and the circumstances if you don't get it tested, your water service will be disconnected until brought back in compliance. That was passed. They started the program up again, and it just was real lax. They sent cards out, and you tested, if you didn't, you didn't. January of this year, got a visit from his name, John Hedgecock with the Arkansas Department of Health. He was the new guy over the cross connection program for the state. Usually when we get new guys in the health department, they come in with the book, and they follow the book. And he asked for our cross connection program. We gave him what we had. He went through it and said, we have to start enforcing your backflow program. Said, you have no previous record where you enforced it fully. He said if it's not brought up to date, and they come in once a year and do what we call a sanitary survey, but they come in and basically see where we're at on all our state requirements. And he will be back in here, they come in the springtime and see if I'm back up to code by then, we'll be put on administrative order and then hand it over to their enforcement section. So I don't want that, and my responsibility is to protect every citizen that's connected to the system. We're following the code, and basically that code is the city code 0602, states everything. The Arkansas Department of Health Rules and Regulation, Section 7E states that we have to. And also I've got the Arkansas State Plumbing Code here, 10.5.7. And we need to read the Arkansas State Plumbing Code, because I think that just about supersedes the health department. 10.5.7, lawn sprinklers and irrigation pipe, because that's the irrigations are what I have most complaints on, people complaining about it. It says lawn sprinkler systems and irrigation piping shall be equipped with an approved backflow preventer to protect against contamination of potable water system. Local administrative authorities shall require device assembly with a degree of hazard before the first outlet. Existing backflow preventers on lawn systems shall meet the standards by which they were installed. Backflow preventer under maintenance requirements says periodic testing shall be established by the administrative order for all backflow preventers. This testing must begin upon installation and at intervals not to exceed 1 year. And then for new ones, they have to be tested within 10 days. It's the sole responsibility of the consumer at premises where backflow prevention systems are installed to have operational tests made at least once per year at the customer's expense. So basically, just enforcing what the state requires, plumbing code requires, and what the city ordinance requires. Try to explain it to people, but their excuse is I never done it. For a lot of them, I can go back and pull the previous records where they haven't tested. They just, like me, they forget. And I know it's expense. I didn't know exactly how much they were charging until I was confronting Walmart's Friday morning. The lady had hers tested, and she asked me, "Is it yearly?" I said, "Yes, it's yearly. State, we have to do it." And she said, "I can't afford $80 a year." And to be honest, I was floored. I'm not in plumbing, or it's not really plumbers. It could be anybody that's certified to test it. You can be Mr. Bell. You can go get certified to do it. It's just that requirement. But it takes 30 minutes or less to do these things. And to me, that's an expense.
Do we have certified people in town? Now, I know that the city water doesn't.
Yeah, we have.
People where Mr. Nelson, that's gonna be required to do it.
Now we actually have 3 people in town, and I had a guy from Hope Fire Extinguisher company. He's here testing some of the largest.
Right?
There are 2 of them. Well, I guess they're all plumbers. I guess they're on. One of them I'm not sure about, but I know two of them are plumbers. But,
There are some local.
there's 3 local, and then Hope Fire Extinguisher, they will come in here, they do them as they come through. But, you know, that's, and I didn't price everybody. But the prices I seen were ranging from $50 to $80. That's a pretty good range there to test the same device. And, just for more background on there, when we first started this up, the commission, water commission, then we looked at having somebody on our staff certified to test this. And we discussed, and two of the main issues that popped up was the commission didn't want us competing with private. And the other was, is we're passing this program requiring somebody to have this device, and then we're requiring them to pay to have it tested, and we're going to provide that service. So they're, you know, they didn't want that input from people saying, well, you made us do this, and now you're capitalizing on what's this doing here. So that was dropped. But after hearing these prices, and basically I was going to ask the council to think about this, because I'm not sure the legality of this. I'll have to defer to Mr. Powell on this. But you know, that's a lot of money. I'll agree. That's a lot of money for every year having it tested. You know, we have to have it. But I'd like to send 2 of my guys to East Camden. Environmental Academy provides a training course. It's a 40-hour training course. It costs $350 per guy that goes in there. And then we have to buy the testing equipment. And the testing equipment runs, you know, it's about $1,800 per unit. And those have to be certified every year, but, you know, and I really hate to say what we could charge, but after hearing about competing with private things here, all I'm saying is we're going to provide a service that people can take advantage of if they want to. We're not opposing us to do that, and if the citizens or the customers would like us to test it, they would have to call us and say, would you test mine? We're not going to say we're going to test yours and you owe us money. We're going to let them call. They have the choice of calling us or calling one of these other guys that's in town too. But I just done some rough figures, and please don't hold me to this. But for us to do it and not make any money, it's just recoup our time, recoup our expense on buying the equipment and schooling. And that's not including the 80 hours, man hours I'm going to lose from 2 guys that's going to be gone. I'll have to stagger those. But I think we can do it for RPZ around $25. And then if you have the old active spirit vacuum breakers, and there's no way to test those. The only requirement is you have to make sure they're operating properly. And that's taking the bonnet off, working, there's a diaphragm floats in there. Those we can do $15. But that's the problem is, and I want y'all to think about it. You know, I'm not asking for approval. I'm asking y'all to consider it, because I want to do it. But the problem is you're going to have plumbers, or not. You're going to have testers come in here and complain that we're going to take business away from them. I don't think the actual customers will come in here and complain, because that's a lot. It's a lot cheaper than what they're being charged now. But we have. But these people have to do it. There's no way around it. State law, ordinance. You have to do it. So I was just shocked, and I think that's a little steep for what they're testing. But their plumbers have to make money. They have to stay and make deals. Basically, that's where I'm at on that. So.
One question, do you have a list if somebody calls up to the water office?
Yes.
About that?
Yeah, and years ago when I started that, we sent the cards out, and on the cards I was considering, well, I'll put people that I know as testers on the card with their numbers, so people know. Well, I did that. Well, I had one person out, and you know what happened.
The reason I'm asking, mine's one that hadn't been tested yet. I've been on somebody's list for a month, and I just wondered if y'all had a list of that.
Let me clarify the September 1st. The ordinance says they have to be tested by December. They have to have a report in to us by December 31st of the end of the year. Okay. The problem with having to wait till then is you're in the next year. People have already pulled the backflow preventers off on irrigation, stuck them in their house, keep them freezing. I set the September date, and I hate to say this because people are going to put it off, but I put September 1st in there so people would go ahead and do it. Okay, okay, 75% will probably do it. There's gonna be 25 that don't. So we'll send letters out, saying, you hadn't had it tested, you need to get tested by October 1st. Well, half of those will do it then, we have to send out more letters. So hopefully by starting early, we'll catch people that's got their device already installed, and then we'll have everybody done by the end of December, we'll be back in compliance with Arkansas Department of Health, so. But, I think 2 guys, we can do it 3 or 4 months. And less than that, it all depends on who all wants to take advantage of our services.
Any other questions for Mr. Baxley at this time? Robert, are we good to let this wait till next meeting, let the council
Oh,
have
yeah,
time
no,
to
no,
digest?
I cannot get anybody in class until February. They're not doing more classes until February 2012, so, just put it out there so people start talking about it. I tell you, this last 2 articles, people talk to their neighbors, they talk to the coffee shop, and it's already 3 different stories by now. But think about it, my biggest concern is competing against private companies. But I'm not, to me, I'm not competing, I'm just offering a service that you want to take advantage of. So,
But what you're saying, you will make available the other services plus your, they will have a choice of choosing you or the other.
that's right. They can choose us, they can choose the other people that's in town, or anybody they want to. You know, that's their choice. But like I said, we're not gonna do it and charge them. They're about to call in here and say, put me on the list, we'll do it. That way, they're coming to us, and we're not taking business away. Customers still have choice. But yeah, no rush, but like I said, I can't get them in class until February, so. But right now, I stand, that's where I wanna go unless we find out something we can't do it. Cause I have checked with other utilities, I checked with Little Rock, Benton, they do not have anybody on staff to test. They rely on everybody outside. And the people in charge there, they'd already gone, they was off on vacation, so I couldn't find a reason. But they didn't provide that service, they made everybody outside, so. But that's it.
Let's make a note, we'll talk again in December. Any other questions for Mr. Baxley? Okay, thank you, Robert.